we really investigate here-ness, of course, we're going to encounter multiple layers to what this here-ness is. So, do I mean this singular present moment? Well, is there a singular present moment? If we fully occupy this moment, something we call with the mind the singular present moment, we discover that it's not actually a singular, isolated moment. It never has been, it never will be. There really is no measure of time in the living moment. And that is one of the profound mysteries to our being and our existence, and the fact we have this mind that can frame things and define things, and yet ultimately everything exists within and beyond that. So present moment, well, it's a continuum. So if we really occupy this space, we discover, yes, okay, this continuum always is. We're never anything but this continuum. So we are the eternal self. We are the eternal life. We are also likewise, because there is nothing but this present moment continuum. Well, that means everything is this simultaneously. And for example, even if we are to stand under the night sky and we gaze at the stars, that light that is what we call physically meeting our eyes, and our brain is physically measuring its light or encountering it in this so-called moment, that light is literally millions of years old, which also indicates to us that past, present and future are not separate or outside of each other. And so all of these confounding truths to reality that seem to completely boggle the mind come into light in consciousness when we're in present moment awareness. It leads us to be much more deeply engaged with the lived experience. So you also ask, do I mean, being present to the bodily senses? Yes, absolutely, as well. Because here in this present moment continuum is the phenomenon of beingness. And how are we as the human experience encountering this other than through this sensory field? And of course there's so much more going on than our senses can register. But does that really matter? Do we have to answer that? Or are we here to really experience this? Our sensory field that is registering input, output, these sensory faculties are literally the gateway between what appears to be distinct self and non-distinct self, the sense of a separate self and a oneness, a unified self, which is beyond an absolute individualized identity. And so what's happening with our senses if we're in the present moment and we really rest into this deeply enough? You can sometimes use that as your anchoring to deepen and strengthen present moment awareness. You can focus on listening, for example. And so if you rest deeply enough into listening, you'll start to experience and realize that sound has no beginning or end or separation. And in fact, if you rest deeply enough into this, all sound merges into all sound. It is one continuum field, and we are sound. We are all waves of frequency, of energy. And so, yes, as we engage in present moment awareness, we are here in what appears to be the singular moment, because the phenomenon we are experiencing is unique to this moment. Yet if we watch it deeply enough, we also realize that we can't contain it, you can't hold it, you can't trap it. This moment has gone. It's peeled off into the next moment, into the next moment, into the next moment. So it is a continuum. We also experience a much deeper centering and restfulness into being this experience. Our senses become heightened, alert to what is really here, rather than caught up in the traffic of the mind and travelling in all of that construct. We become very, very present simply to what is. And with that is a stripping back, is a return to the simplicity and the innocence of our being and the profoundness of our being, that indeed, whilst it is complex in terms that really we can't describe and explain it with words, and all our scientific investigations might lead us to different insights, ultimately it's in consciousness that we really truly know and encounter what this mystery is. And that is satisfying. When we encounter it, we no longer need to explain, we no longer need to search, we just become the celebration, the reveling of living, of beingness itself. And I feel this is the real joy, the real gift in present moment mindfulness and meditation, is that it unleashes all that we are. It frees us. All of those chains that we've put upon ourselves, really, are undone by present moment living and by seeing things as they truly are, experiencing life in its mystery, its oneness, its uniqueness and distinction, yet it's all sameness. And here we see how profound it all is. Here there is such beauty, such immeasurable divine beauty, that all we can feel is love for every moment, for every living thing. And in this is sacredness, in this is a reverence, and in this reverence is true communion, and in this true communion is peace and cooperation, and in this peace and cooperation there is harmony and wellness and thriving for all. And so that is my wish for you and for all, that you can return to this, that you can see it's already here, that you can encounter this for yourself.